we're going to take these home and let's see what we're going to make with them, okay? I'll see you then. So welcome back to another edition of Nobody's Nonna. I'm back from my cycling trip out to the Berry Brothers farm out in the country, and I picked up a vicious crop of fresh asparagus and fresh rhubarb. So I thought we'd make two things today. The first thing is a rhubarb sponge pudding, and very simple recipe. I started actually by buttering a 9-inch pie plate, and I'm going to cut the rhubarb up into 1-inch pieces and put that in the base. And then I'm going to take about 3/4 cups of flour and some sugar, 2 eggs, and half a cup of butter, and that's going to form the basis that goes on top. After we've actually filled the pie plate with rhubarb, I'm using actually Rogers Golden Syrup. Now, Rogers, or there's other brands like Lyle's, you find in your supermarket, they're not corn syrup. They're made actually with sugar, and I just find that it caramelizes a lot better. So I'm going to get started by cutting up the rhubarb into 1-inch pieces, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we have our 1-inch pieces of rhubarb inside our prepared pie plate, and I've got the Rogers syrup. The recipe calls for 1/3 cup. I just drizzle this on until I see a nice sufficient amount. This really does caramelize well, really delicious, much better than corn syrup. Of course, if corn syrup is the only thing you can get, by all means try it with corn syrup. There we go. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to start with a topping. I'm going to start by taking my half cup of sugar and my half a cup of butter, and I'm going to start to soften that up and combine. Then I'm going to add the eggs and the flour. So join me when that's done, and we'll see how it turns out. I'm back, and I've done my mixture of my half cup sugar, half cup butter, of my 2 eggs and 3/4 cups of flour, and mix it up, whip it real good, and just putting it on top. So this is going to go in the oven for about 35 minutes at 350, and then after that it just comes out. Really easy peasy, great dessert, and very seasonal. So if you're looking for something that's really simple, this is it. So join me when this is out of the oven, and we'll see how it turns out. Yeah, I think you'll like it. Okay, so in it goes, and we'll try it together when it's done. Okay, I'll see you then. Okay, so we're back with our 1 pound of asparagus. I'm going to cut off the ends because we don't really need them, and take off this. So I have a pot of simmering water on the stove. I'm going to put these in there for about 60 seconds. What you don't want is something that's limp. You want something that still has a bit of bite to it. So join me in the stove. Okay, so we can see it here. It's just simmering on the stove. It's going to be on there for about 60 seconds. I'm going to get some tongs and place them on a rack, and we'll just sit there. After that, we'll get started on our Hollandaise sauce. So Hollandaise sauce, some people have called it a kind of a heart attack at a meal. Not exactly a heart healthy, but it's delicious. And if you're only going to do it once a year, maybe for someone's birthday or Mother's Day or Father's Day, it really is a great treat. So yeah, enjoy that. So, okay, so I'm going to stop this here. I'm going to start now on the Hollandaise sauce. Yes, we have our double boiler going with our 4 egg yolks in the bowl. I'm adding just a touch of salt. I'm adding about 2 tablespoons in this case of lemon juice. You can use a bit less depending on what you like. Now I'm also going to be adding a bit of smoked paprika. Actually, yeah, I prefer smoked paprika versus cayenne pepper, but it's a personal preference. And we're going to whip it good. We want it to expand. Remember, the main thing is that you don't want the bottom of the bowl to touch the water. Keep whipping. Now I have a half a cup of clarified butter here. I've skimmed off most of the white stuff on top. I'm going to slowly add it. You don't want to add it too fast, so you're going to end up with scrambled eggs. Okay. So keep whipping, keep adding. So you get this emulsion. That's it. Okay, we're back with our perfectly done asparagus and our beautiful hollandaise sauce. Just pour it over. Oh my God, that's good. Yeah, wow. If your hollandaise sauce does split, don't panic. Just take a bit of hot water and add a tablespoon at a time, and it should re-emulsify. So yeah, wow. That is so good. Maybe not good for you, but it is so good. So join me in about 5 minutes when the rhubarb sponge pudding comes out of the oven, and we'll see how that turns out as well. So here we have our rhubarb sponge pudding. It's fresh out of the oven, so it's really too hot to eat, but I wanted you to see what it looks like on the plate. It's steaming, and oh my God, that is so good. Yeah, you can see the rhubarb, piece of rhubarb in there. Yeah. So there we have it. We have 2 things that we made in about an hour. We did the rhubarb sponge pudding and the fresh asparagus with hollandaise sauce. So there we have it. Join me, I guess, next time, probably in June, when we start on strawberries, the next crop that's coming up, okay? So I'll see you then. This is Leonard from Nobody's Nonna, and join me then.